What's going on, guys? This is Chandler Smith, and I currently own 5 cars, 124 units of rental real estate, and I'm in the process of building my dream home. And I've had a lot of people ask, Chandler, what is your net worth? And so in this video, I'm gonna share it with you. So with all of that being said, let's jump into it. All right, guys, if you're new to the channel, we're gonna get real personal real quick because I'm gonna open up the books on everything. We're gonna talk about my $17 million worth of real estate. We're gonna talk about my supercars. We're gonna talk about my new home builds. But most importantly, we're gonna talk about all of these things so that I can break down my entire net worth for you here on YouTube. Now, I hope this video doesn't come across in the wrong way. It's just a question that I've had asked a lot, and I know people would like to see the video. So if you want to judge me or give me a hard time for flexing on the world with a YouTube video, I apologize beforehand. This isn't usually something that I would feel comfortable doing. However, it's also really exciting to be able to share these things with you and break them down so that you can go out and create a huge passive income yourself and be able to accomplish the exact same thing. And if that's your goal, you can pick up my real estate investing course in the description, or you can just remember to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the little bell so you catch all of my videos, because on this channel, my goal is to help you build a huge passive income through investing in real estate. Now, if you're in a financial situation where you don't feel like you could go and buy real estate, make sure that you click the link down in my description that talks about door-to-door sales. Believe it or not, that's actually where I started and acquired the money to be able to buy the $17 million worth of real estate that I own now. And I still work as a regional sales manager full-time, training sales reps and helping them start where I did and kind of evolve into really good sales reps and then really good leaders and help them to make a ton of money so they can transition that money into owning real estate. So if you're interested in that, make sure you click the link down in the description. But most importantly, make sure you remember to smash that like button, and we're gonna jump right into the video where I'm going to share my net worth. First off, you need to understand the definition of net worth, because as you saw in the thumbnail, it said negative $8 million. And the truth is, I'm currently in over $8 million of debt owning the real estate that I own. However, the definition of net worth is your assets minus your liabilities. And the reality is, I've got a lot of liabilities. I've got a lot of debt. However, I've got a ton more of assets. And so I'm gonna go through these assets and we're gonna show you what my total assets are, and then we're going to subtract those liabilities, and that's going to leave you with my end net worth. We're gonna start with the biggest chunk of my net worth and also the biggest chunk of my liabilities, and that is my real estate. Now, the way that I buy real estate is I buy all of my real estate with debt. And the truth is, I wanna buy it with as much debt as possible, because if I can go and buy a property with 25% down, we're gonna say I'm buying a $1 million property and I purchase it with $250,000 down, but I take out $750,000 in debt, my net worth is $250,000. Now, I know a lot of you are saying, whoa, hold on the brakes, I'm confused. What's going on here? Well, the reality is your asset is worth $1 million. And so you've only got $750,000 worth of debt, which means if you take your asset minus your liability, that leaves you with $250,000 in net worth. Now, here's what's really fun about buying real estate with debt. When you purchase real estate with debt, you can acquire a lot of real estate. And if you purchase it properly, you have ways to add value to that real estate. On top of forcing value with raising rents or renovating the property or doing a myriad of other things, you can also count on something called appreciation. And appreciation is the fact that all property is naturally going up in value every single year. Now, this is caused by a couple different things, one of them being inflation, because as you have more inflation, your dollar doesn't go as far, which means everything goes up in value. But also, property just goes up in value over time. And And with appreciation, the thing that's really cool is if you only have a small down payment, you're not getting appreciation in 3 to 5% on your small down payment. You're getting it on the total value of that asset. And so as we'll go through my net worth, a lot of my net worth has been acquired from forcing value into my properties and from appreciation just naturally happening. And it's extremely exponential because I might put a small down payment on properties, but then those properties drastically go up in value. So I guess what I'm saying is real estate is absolutely incredible, and it's really incredible when you purchase it properly with debt. Now, a lot of people have purchased it improperly with debt and they end up in major issues, and that's why you need to know what you're doing. All right, I've drug it on long enough. Now we're gonna jump into it, and to make this simple, I'm just gonna go through property by property, and I might even speed up this part of the video because it's probably boring, but I'm just going to share what the property is and what its net worth is now, and then I'm gonna talk about what I owe on it, and we're just gonna crank through these. So first off, you've got my primary residence. I currently own $307,000 on it, and it's worth over $700,000. Now, the property just across the street from me sold for $700,000. It's a little smaller, didn't have quite the finishes we have, and it doesn't have the view, so I'm confident we're gonna be able to get $700,000 or more when we sell this property. And just so you know, that's what I've tried to do with all of these properties. I've actually tried to give a somewhat conservative estimate of what I think they're worth, even though there might be another, I don't know, $500,000 to $1 million more that I could sell these properties for. I'm just trying to be somewhat conservative so you get a true net worth number that isn't too big, but if anything is a little too small. So just to run the math on this primary residence, I owe $307,000. I'm confident I could sell it for $700,000. We're gonna say $707,000 so that you know my net worth that is locked up in this property is right around $400,000. Now, I'm not going to explain that on every property. I'm just going to share what I owe on it and then how much I think it's worth, and then we're gonna give you the end results at the end. So the next one is a duplex. I owe $65,000 on it, and I currently think I could sell it for $225,000. The next one is another duplex. I owe $102,000 on it, and I'm confident I could sell that one for $200,000. The next one is a duplex. I only owe $60,000 on it. I'm confident I could sell that for $200,000. The next one is a fourplex. I only owe $181,000 on that one. That one I could easily sell for $430,000. And this fourplex is the same as a bunch of others. There's another fourplex, another fourplex, another fourplex. All of those I owe between $180,000 to $200,000 on, and each of them I easily could sell for $430,000. There have been multiple like this that have sold for $450,000 plus, but we'll say $430,000 to be conservative. I have another duplex that I owe $98,000 on. It's worth $200,000. I have a 32plex that I only owe $1.4 million on. It's easily worth $3 million right now, but I put 2.9 to be conservative. I own an 8plex that I only owe $311,000 on. I could sell that for $1 million. That's one of the older properties I've owned for a while. I own a 4plex that I only owe $138,000 on, and I think it's probably worth $275,000. That one was a crazy good deal that I bought forever ago. That's why I don't owe a whole lot on it. I own $1,034,000 on my 15plex. That one I should easily be able to sell for over $2 million. We own another duplex. This one's actually in my wife's name. We only owe $183,000 on that. We could sell that for $250,000 plus. We own our house. I did include our house that we're building. We only owe $1.5 million on that, which is a pretty big debt bill. I might refinance this property at the end of it, but when we finish, I'm pretty sure that it's gonna be worth $2.5 million. And again, I think that's somewhat conservative with the finishes and everything that we're doing on this house. And with how the market's exploded, I'm confident we'd be able to sell it for that. The next one is another fourplex. Now on this fourplex, I owe $375,000. We could easily sell it for $450,000. Same with the other fourplex we just bought. We could easily sell that for $450,000. We also have my grandma's house that we're in the process of converting into a duplex. We paid $220,000 for that. We'll probably have another $25,000 into the renovations that we're doing, but it should easily be worth $400,000 plus when we're finished, if not more. The next next one is the storage units, and I kind of cheated on these a little bit because we owe 1.75. Half of what we owe on that is Garrett's, as well as half of the total asset is Garrett's. It's worth 250,000. So quick math on that, that's 750,000, which means half of 750,000 is mine, half is Garrett's. So you can deduct that half at the end, and maybe I will. I haven't decided yet. I'll let you know though. The next one is my 24-plex, and it's not a 24-plex anymore because we did a renovation and added 3 units. I just still call it a 24-plex, but it's a 25, 6, a 27 plex. We only owe $900,000 on that property, and it's easily worth over $2 million. And that is the list of properties. Hopefully I didn't bore you too much, but what that leaves us at is $17.9 million worth of asset and $9.626 million worth of liabilities. All in all, that leaves my net worth from real estate at $8.343 million. In reality, it's just barely over $8 million because of that half of the storage units that Garrett owns. At this point, I am just over $8 million of net worth from my real estate. Now, the cool thing about this net worth is it's actually all tied up in real estate. What's really cool about that is there's a lot of debt there, but as inflation happens, as appreciation happens, I am getting a ton of appreciation or added value on these properties, but it's not just on the $8 million I have locked up, it's actually on the $17.9 million that I own in assets. So just to show you a quick calculation. Now, there are going to be 2 kinds of people that make fun of me when they see these numbers. The first person is gonna make fun of me and say, Chandler, you're an absolute idiot because you have over $9 million worth of debt. There's also gonna be the other person that's gonna say, Chandler, you're an absolute idiot because you have over $8 million tied up in these properties. So let me explain myself to both of you. First off, if you're giving me a hard time because I have so much debt, you're an idiot. And I don't mean to be rude, like I probably shouldn't call you an idiot, but the reality is having this debt is awesome because all of that debt was extremely cheap because interest rates are so low. However, in my current market, property values have gone up by 10% plus every year for the last couple years. And they're even saying this year it's like close to 20% that property values have gone up, which is absolutely stupid. But that means on all of that debt that I have, it's just adding crazy equity. If I didn't have that $9 million worth of debt, I just want to show you. So $9 million times 0.10. That's an extra $900,000 I make every year because that debt exists. Now, for those of you giving me a hard time because I have $8 million worth locked up in these properties in money that I could pull out, I understand, you're right. I should have only, 30% down on these properties or something, would still be pretty safe. But the reality is property values have exploded so much the last couple of years that I didn't put anywhere close to $8 million down on these properties, like nowhere close. It's actually kind of shameful how little of that money was actually mine that I put into these properties. A lot of that money is because I forced value into these properties, doing renovations, increasing rents, or just naturally because the market has exploded. And I shouldn't say it's shameful. It's actually freaking awesome because I spent so little, and I still spent millions of dollars worth, but nowhere near that $8 million in equity that I now have in these properties. And that's what's so cool about debt and so cool about real estate. So sorry, I got off on a tangent, but if you're thinking about buying real estate, please do it. Make sure your numbers work and make sure that you use debt, because if you do that, it's gonna be absolutely incredible for you, like it has been for me. Now, I want to jump into my other net worth, but before I do, I know a lot of people are going to ask, Chandler, you've got all this real estate. What is it cash flowing at now? Now, if you jump back, you can find the Graham Stephan podcast, and I think I said just over $400,000. I just did the math as of this month, what we're cash flowing on these units, and I'm actually cash flowing $44,000 plus every single month on these units. So if you want to know what that pans out to be over the course of the year. That means I'm cash flowing about $530,000. And again, I took conservative estimates on this. This is setting aside a bunch of money for expenses that I probably don't need to set aside, but I like to be conservative so that I've always got funds there. All right, guys, now we're gonna jump into the cash that I hold on hand, then we're gonna talk cars and the other stuff. Here's the truth. I'm not gonna give you the full story as far as how much cash I keep on hand because I just don't feel comfortable doing that. I will tell you my rule and then you can kind of do the math, or maybe I'll do the math with you. But I want to be in a place where if not a single person pays their mortgage for 6 months, I'm covered. Now, do I need to do this at this point because I have so many properties? No, probably not. I'm probably being way overcautious, but I like doing it because it makes me feel comfortable with all of that debt that I have, so that I'm in a place where I could pay my mortgage, I could pay the taxes on these properties, and I even set aside a little bit for, additional expenses to keep them up, which again, I probably shouldn't do, but it is what it is. So with my mortgages on these properties, they're right at $40,000. I also have taxes and other stuff. So I plan on leaving $50,000 a month for 6 months worth so that I could survive. So you can do the math, that's over $300,000 in cash. I'm never going to drop below that for my rental properties. I also have some rules when it comes to my personal finances and making sure that my family has reserves so that we could survive for a full year. And so we're just gonna say, I can comfortably tell you I've got at least $400,000 in the bank that I'm always going to keep there at any given time to make sure that we're safe, we're comfortable, and if crap were to hit the fan, that we've got reserves that we can rely on. Now, we're also in the process of building our home and a bunch of other things. I'm not gonna talk about the cash situation on that right now. I might cover it in a future video, but you do need to know I've at least got $400,000 in the bank. On top of that, I probably have, I also have $10,000 that's broken up between Bitcoin and Ethereum. I know nothing crazy, but I'm sure a lot of you will be surprised that I did put money into cryptocurrency. I also own a Ferrari 458 Spider, a C8 Corvette, a Ford Raptor, a Tesla Model 3, and a Lexus something. I don't remember what it's called. It's like one of those hatchback things. I have paid off a lot of these cars. And so I guess what I will tell you is, including my cash, my cars, and all of the stuff that we own, I've got at least $1 million worth added to my net worth. So I would guess that my net worth is 9 million plus if I'm being conservative on things. All right, that was definitely anticlimactic the way I went about doing that, but my net worth is just over $9 million. And I'm hoping by the end of the year, I'll be able to comfortably say it's well over 10 million with some of the purchases that I plan on making and the direction that my business and real estate and everything else is going. So that is the goal, to be able to say my net worth is over 10 million by the end of 2021. And I'm hoping even a lot more than that, but we'll just wait and see. Now, if you guys enjoyed this video, please let me know in the comments. It's extremely uncomfortable to make a video like this because you've got to be a very open book. And I've done it with other videos talking about my cash flow and showing you the numbers on properties. And usually you seem to enjoy them. They've also opened up a ton of doors for me with other real estate investors and other YouTubers. But if you don't like it, please let me know, and let me know what I could do different, because I don't want to sound arrogant when I make these. As a matter of fact, I make them in hopes that there are multiple of you that are watching that will call me down the road and say, Chandler, that video inspired me. And now I own, 20 doors or 30 doors or 1,000 doors of rental real estate because that pushed me over the edge to get comfortable enough to buy that first rental property. So I really hope you enjoy it. There was also one more thing that I wanted to mention, and this is going to make me sound, I don't know, not good, but for months and months and months, I've hoped that someone would guess my net worth and write an article about it, because I think it would be so cool to search Chandler David Smith net worth and have something pop up. Now, I know this makes me sound bad, but guess what? If you hop on and you search Chandler David Smith net worth, there are actually people that have written articles about this. Now, this one that shows up at the top, it says that my net worth is valued around 1 million to 5 million. So now that I've been an open book and I've shared this with you, you've got to reach out to this guy and the other people that have written articles about my net worth so that the articles can be correct. Now, if people think my net worth is between 1 and 5, I'm totally okay with that, but also it would be really cool if they changed the article to 10 because of my wishful thinking on this video. So you guys see what you can do when reaching out to this guy or having someone else write another article. I just think that'd be cool. If not, no stress. Just remember to smash the like button, and we'll look forward to seeing you in my future videos where my goal is to help you to build a huge passive income. Thanks so much, guys. Have a great day.